After the request of many fans, the Punisher finally got his very own show set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's right, it's because of you guys I'm uploading more frequently, and my grades are suffering. You think I'm joking? I'm really not. The month of November has not been kind to me or my wallet, fam. As usual, this is a spoiler review, meaning I'll be talking about key plot points, tragic death scenes, maybe some Easter eggs. I'm probably gonna cut this vid a bit shorter than usual too, because I really gotta get back to schoolwork. But what do you care? All you care about is the free videos, am I right? Screw the person behind the scenes. So the Punisher sees the return of Jon Bernthal as the dude that shares the same name with the TV show. The story follows Frank Castle, a man with a dark, mysterious past who lost his family in an unfortunate event. However, as he goes on a brutal, unexpected journey, he uncovers a mysterious conspiracy that extends beyond that of just him and his family. Jon Bernthal completely embodies the character of the Punisher. Through the PTSD dreams, to getting open seasons on everyone brutally, he did it all. And even though he's the smallest of the Punishers to have ever been portrayed in live action, the personality of this Frank Castle is what really makes him more of a force to be reckoned with. The show picks up right where Daredevil Season 2 left off, and right from the get-go, you can tell that even though he hunted the people who harmed his family down, he isn't at peace. You can still tell that he is damaged. Pretty much all around the acting was great, from Jon Bernthal to Deborah Ann Woll to Ben Barnes to Amber Riva. Though, there is an exception of one actor, which I'll get into in a bit when I talk about the negatives. But as I said, 99% of the performances were solid. There's a lot to rave about the Punisher. The main character's chemistry with Micro, and the excellent use of flashback sequences to draw in some pathos. But I gotta say, the dark themes of the nightmares that haunt post-war veterans really sold the show for me. If you look at stuff like Captain America or Wonder Woman, the heroes usually walk out of wars all fine and dandy like nothing happened. They just move on to modern day, cracking jokes with back in my day one-liners. This show, though, highlights the brilliant aspect of how when you go home, that tragic stuff feels like baggage. And man, was that depressing. More depressing than when you drop the whole Oreo inside a glass of milk. Not only that, but the screenwriters actually showed how violence changes people around you. Yeah, that Billy guy was a real scumbag. I mean, he didn't just lie to Frank or murder Stein, he even lashed out on his other best friend too. Why they always gotta make the brother suffer too? He got beat by his own leg by that one twitchy kid, and then again by Billy. I swear to you, one like equals one prayer. Yeah, dude was just the worst. And by worst, I mean one of the better, more compelling villains of the MCU. Granted, he still wasn't the best. I think there are a couple of guys from Marvel who top him, but just saying, he chewed up every scene he was in. He was definitely more along the lines of Fisk and Kilgrave, and less like Diamondback. He wasn't just a snake, he wasn't just inside their minds, he was literally inside of her. The action pieces in this show are also unique works of art. There was no Daredevil type of stunt work, but they managed to still pull it off in such a beautiful way. It's as if the action scenes got more brutal and brutal as the show went on, but it never felt too over the top. None of that Kingsman level stuff where you got flying Hurricane Rana pistol shots, and massive scissoring was going on. More importantly, the scenes never felt choreographed. There are dirty, grimy, bloody movesets that incorporate environmental objects that are so street-like, it keeps the entire show grounded. You always felt bad for the guys whoever the Punisher wrecked because, dude, all of those segments were so hard to watch. Just looking at those excruciatingly painful torture parts, and the severed limbs flying everywhere with fountains of Kool-Aid spurting like the Niagara Falls, made me queasy on the inside. Walking out of those kinds of scenes really makes me more appreciative of how my intestines and eyes are safe and secure within my body. But that ending fight scene was so fulfilling. When Frank was just grating cheese out of Billy's face with that pony ride mirror, it had the people watching with me saying, but now for one tiny itty-bitty gripe I had. I want to preface it by saying this. I loved the Lewis arc. The fact that he served his country, did his duty, became obsessed with his work, and started using the American flag as a justification for his acts of wrongdoing was all done so beautifully. The whole story behind him was like one of those cool Batman Arkham side missions. Not those annoying Riddler trophy ones, but the more engaging boss battle ones. From start to finish, we essentially see his fall from grace, and I really loved that part of the show. For the first 9 episodes. The 10th episode is where this character finally meets his end, and while the build-up to it was amazing, the climax itself wasn't so grand. The entirety of the 10th episode is sort of watered down by the direction, and it is a little jarring at times to keep up with the storyline. It starts off with Lewis already blown to guava juice, and the events are told by different victims as the episode progresses, which then leads to similar events repeating over and over again. While I see what they were going for, and on paper that sounds fantastic, what we got, I don't know. It felt kind of convoluted, but that's just the one episode. That's such a tiny flaw. It really wasn't that big of a deal. Listen, I still really liked the show. It was just the one out of the 13 that didn't resonate with me. Don't go running around saying, how could you hate the Punisher? So great. Oh my god, he likes Kids Bop! Remember the one exempted actor I referred to earlier who could have been done better? Well yeah, I was talking about Micro's son. I'm not gonna bash the kid in his acting abilities, because in all honesty, he probably did better than I could have ever done. But there was one line of dialogue that just didn't sit too well with me. It was the part where he said that he had no friends left, and that's why he carried around a knife. It's just the way it came out. It sounded so forced. It's like the writers were all like,
ah shiz, we got 5 minutes left in the episode. Quick, throw in something a kid wouldn't say.
This actually isn't really a negative. It was just something that just seemed off to me. Anyways, so a number of Easter eggs and references are made to other shows that tie into this universe. There was an allusion to Nelson and Murdoch's when Madani was looking up Karen Page's profile. Officer Brett Mahoney, the only non-corrupted policeman from the Daredevil series, makes his way into episode 10. The D-list dealer Turk from Daredevil also makes it in here. He gets clapped upside the head by the Punisher. Frank dons his iconic top, and his alias surname, Castiglione, is a nod to the original character's name, Francis Castiglione. He switched it to Castle for reasons I do not know. My bad, the answer is probably on Wikipedia. One thing I'd like to add is that this is the one Marvel Cinematic Universe Netflix series that didn't feature Rosario Dawson's Night Nurse. I didn't really expect her to show up, but there was still like a don't hold your breath kind of feeling tingling inside of me. I heard that the Punisher wasn't originally supposed to get a spin-off show. It was only because of the fans he did. Maybe that could have been why? Or maybe they didn't know how to implement her into the show. That's okay, it didn't really bother me. But that being said, this is the most loosely connected show to the bigger MCU. You look at the other shows like Daredevil or Jessica Jones, and they reference the 2012 incident or the big green guy jumping from building to building 2 or 3 times. But here, all of that is just nowhere to be found. That just goes to show you that even though this is set in the same world where Ant-Man is cracking jokes, and super kids with spandexes are running amok, the Netflix shows are subtly distancing themselves more and more after each new show or season. Ultimately, The Punisher was a great TV show. It falls along the lines more of Daredevil Season 1 than it does Iron Fist Season 1. It's got a really great cast of talent, stunning choreography, and dark thought-provoking themes that'll keep you on the edge of your seat for the majority of the ride. I say probably because we all have different opinions, and on the off chance you utterly despise the series. But as for me, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'd pay 3 times the Netflix subscription to watch it again. Take my money. What'd you think of The Punisher? Leave your interesting thoughts and ideas down in the comment section below. But anyways, that's all my time for today. If you like this video, then be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And for more of my videos, just click right here.